Olja is looking at the drawing. He's trying to figure out how to get these things into the correct locations. Just going to whip that thing around. Okay. I like it. And meanwhile, Sebastian is also trying to get the correct number of instances, going around counting. Oh no, Olja lost his setup for those holes. Sebastian is going around and double checking to make sure. Hey, what's up everybody? Too Tall Toby here, and in today's tournament highlight video, we're gonna see a matchup between Sebastian running CATIA and Olja K running Fusion. Now, some of you may recognize Sebastian under his screen name over at tootalltoby.com, MCGA, or Make CATIA Great Again. And Sebastian is regularly featured at the top of our speed modeling leaderboard. So if you want to get some great 2D to 3D practice in, you can visit us at tootalltoby.com, sign up for an account, and you can challenge yourself to over 200 practice models challenges. And if you take a look at the speed modeling leaderboard, you can pick up on some great tips and tricks. And of course, it's always fun to see people speed modeling. So good luck to Sebastian, good luck to Olja K, and I hope you guys enjoy this tournament highlight. Guys, if you like a little bit of controversy, be sure to hit the like button. And we are going to turn back to the Wheel of Fate. Only 4 drawings left on the Wheel of Fate. Tech Hack Tamal 07. Again, rocking it. Gummy 07. And Mason makes 3. And Zhao says it's going to be 3. And GNRLO says now it will be 3. And Chase Cormick says 2. And Wolfgang says 2. Guys, let's give this thing a rip. Here we go. The Wheel of Fate has decided that the next model that these two runners will be faced with is... Yo, nice. This is a good one. Model number 2. And we see here that Sebastian, a couple of other fun facts about Sebastian is that some of you may know me as MCGA. Yes, that is true. You'll also notice that Sebastian says, I have a dog I love named Pizza. So... that's cool. That's a cool name for a dog. Pizza. Most dogs are named like Rex or Buddy or something like that. But he says, I have a dog I love named Pizza. So that is cool. And congratulations. And we also see here that Olja has a wife, 2 kids, and a very hairy dog. Nice. Nice. That's awesome. We love dogs. And also, we see that Olja is a kite foiling addict. So that's pretty cool. Kite foiling. But now it's time to see this next CAD battle. Our first CAD battle featured Sebastian and Olja. Sebastian earning that first point. You have to earn 2 points to advance in this tournament. So here we go, guys. This next CAD vs. CAD battle featuring Sebastian from Germany running CATIA V5 and Olja from Croatia running Fusion begins in 3, 2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in XX.X grams? Our runners are grabbing a screen capture of this part. Our runners are going to attempt to model this part here using ABS as the material and using millimeters as the unit system, millimeters and grams. What is the mass of this part in grams? This is a cool model. It's a vacuum attachment. And let's flip over to this CAD vs. CAD battle. Very interesting to see what's going on here. It looks like Sebastian is starting looking down from the top and sketching a slot. It feels like almost every model today has started out with our users looking down from the top and sketching a slot. So that is purely coincidental, but very interesting that is how it starts. We love the slot command in 3D CAD, so it's good to know that our users know how to use it and see all these different places they can utilize it. Sebastian drawing first blood, getting that first shape extruded, and creating that first shape as a solid. Well done, well done. We see that Olja on the right is using Fusion and was able to take that geometry and turn that geometry into a solid as well. Very nice to Olja. And we see Sebastian on the left there had a fillet, decided to roll back and get rid of that fillet. It's interesting geometry because the wall thickness of this model in the 2D print, the wall thickness is different along the tube and along the large planar face than it is along those sidewalls. So the wall that Sebastian is working on right now has a different wall thickness. I think the wall thickness is like 6 or 7 millimeters, where the the remaining wall thickness of the model is only, I think it's like 2.8 millimeters. So very interesting part here. It is a physical part. I do have a physical version of this part, vacuum attachment, that I modeled off of. This is kind of a cool exercise. If you have physical parts in your house, you could try to model them up in 3D CAD, and you could even maybe 3D print a replacement part if you happen to lose one. So this one is a physical part here. And we see Sebastian on the left has modeled up that lower section and is now attempting to model up the upper section. But look at Olja on the right, has also modeled up that lower section. Looks like he's got some kind of a space navigator to move that part around the screen. I like that as well. I love that kind of smooth transition in the views. So wow. These guys are really, really close on this one. It looks like Sebastian was able to get in there pretty quickly and get the geometry defined. It's interesting the way the geometry on the 2D print for this one is defined. If you guys are looking at the 2D print, or if you roll back in the YouTube video and look at the 2D print, you'll see that the way that tube is defined, it's got kind of an interesting dimension back down to that base level geometry. So this is one of these models where you kind of have to plan it out. You kind of have to look at the drawing. You have to create some layout geometry, layout sketches. You got to use whatever tricks you got in the book, because sometimes the customers will come to you with these types of design requirements. And so it's kind of good to know how to work around some of these non-standard dimensioning techniques. So it looks like on the left, we got Sebastian getting in there, working with CATIA, trying to create that layout geometry for that tube that's sticking up, maybe struggling a little bit with that angle. And there's that dimension, that 54 dimension that he just dropped in there. Looks like that's the dimension that you needed to really get that thing locked down. And looks like he was able to get that. Now, what's going to be interesting is how he ends up creating that actual shape. And we see here on the right, we've got Olja going through and working on that same area of geometry, trying to figure out, how am I going to define this tube here? The geometry for the tube is kind of defined in the front view, but normally when you define a tube, you draw a circle, you draw the inner diameter, the outer diameter, and boom, there's your definition. Well, that's not going to be as easy with the customer restraints that are defined in this drawing. So this is going to be interesting to see how both of our runners come up with this geometry. Looks like Olja was able to get almost the center line geometry, a plane up in place there. And now it looks like he's going to try to create that tube geometry. Sebastian on the left, looking like he's got quite a few dimensions, quite a few sketch entities. And, sometimes when you're creating these models, whether it's speed modeling or whether it's in the real world, that can get a little bit messy, right? That can get a little bit, it can actually get a little cumbersome. It can become difficult to keep track of everything that you're working on. So we'll see if that burns Sebastian, but he's no spring chicken. He knows his way around these CAD systems. And look at that. He decided to do it as a revolve. Interesting. And now he's going to fire a hole through that thing using that hole tool. So I love that. I love seeing users who decide to do it with a hole tool instead of doing it with a cut extrude or anything like that. I think that's always so clever. Meanwhile, we see on the right, Olja was also able to create that tube. Guys, this is getting close here. This is going to come down to who's going to be able to drop in those holes for the little bristles, these little bristles here on the bottom. So we see that Olja was able to take that tube and was able to create the cut extrude there on the right to punch that hole through. So now he's got that hole in the bottom as well. We see that Sebastian has switched to his bottom view and is now going to be creating the holes that are running around this thing. Looks like he's using an offset entity to get those holes to be in the right location. I'd say in the chat saying, this is so close. This is a tight one. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Wow. It's going to be very interesting to see how these guys get these holes in place. It was an interesting feature when I decided to create this feature. I'll talk about this model a little bit on Model Monday Live. Maybe we'll do a live demonstration of this one on Model Monday Live this Monday. But it was really interesting to think about this model, particularly to think about some of the concepts that occur in terms. I don't want to give anything away here, so I'll save my comments till the end. But I was really interested to see how these users end up doing this. So looks like Sebastian is maybe just going to go through and kind of do his best. Interesting approach there. I don't know if that would yield the best result in a vacuum cleaner, but it's interesting to see how he's doing this one. And it looks like Olja, this could potentially be Olja's chance to maybe even pull ahead here a little bit. depending on what Sebastian does, depending on how Sebastian handles this feature. So this is going to be interesting. It looks like Olja created one and now is going into a type of feature that's going to let him create all the other ones in one single command. This is going to be interesting, guys. This might be what makes or breaks. Wow, this is really neck and neck, guys. There's 20 instances of that hole. Let's see who's able to get those all in there and get them all positioned first. Olja is looking at the drawing. He's trying to figure out how to get these things into the correct locations. Just going to whip that thing around. Okay. I like it. And meanwhile, Sebastian is also trying to get the correct number of instances, going around counting. Oh no, Olja lost his setup for those holes. Sebastian is going around and double checking to make sure that he's got the correct amount. Wow, guys, this one is getting close. And we are watching the chat. Maybe, Sebastian, you want to make sure you enter it multiple times. I got a feeling this one is going to be a very close one. Wow. We're watching the chat. Making sure that everything comes in. Sebastian going through, counting. Olja going through, adding in the wow, I can't even call the action right now. It's going so fast. And we're going to see which one of these runners comes up with an answer first in the chat. And wow, make sure. And Engineer U238 comes into the chat with an answer. 34.4 grams. Sebastian comes in right behind him. Engineer U238, 34.4 grams. Sebastian right behind him, 34.4 grams. Guys, the correct answer is 34.4 grams. And that's going to give our second point to Olja. And guys, we're going to a third match. How cool was that? Wow. GG to both of our runners. What a good game that was. And wow, was that close. Oh my goodness. Wow, was that one close. I don't think Sebastian lagged on that one. Question from a tab came in. I was watching his feed as well. I don't think that he lagged on that one. I think that was legit the way those answers came in. And this is the closest competition I can remember in a long time. Yes, indeed. Wow, guys. What an awesome battle between those runners. The number of holes there, I figured you could Ivan exploit that and you could just drop them in manually the way Sebastian did, but I also figured it would get pretty cumbersome and you could easily lose track. And so doing